Mills here, Academy Mortgage Corporation. Hope you're having an amazing day. One of the most common questions I get asked is, how is the market doing? My response, I hope is helpful, is I typically ask, what market are you talking about? Are you talking about Davis County? Are you talking about Layton? Are you talking about Weber County? All those are a different answer. And I also like to ask a simple question. Are you talking about buying a home for yourself to live in as a primary residence? Are you looking as an investor? You're looking at a second home? I think all those have a different flow and feel to them. And the answer is all those may have a different solution to what you're trying to accomplish. So I think it's important to be able to dive down and look into a market. Well, my goal here today, because that's a common question that is asked, is I want to be able to share and walk you through some data at a county level that you can actually reach out to us if you need more information. But I want to walk you through that you can kind of look at it and come up to those conclusions for yourself. So I want to share here real quick just what's called a real estate report card. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to use as an example, let's go to Utah, and I'm going to use Weber County to walk through kind of a real estate report card that gets information around this idea of how is the market doing. So in Weber County, we've got a median home price of 402,000. Here's the projected market forecast on appreciation in the next year and 5 years. So where's that coming from? Well, and that you can see that in dollar amount there of what a home worth 402 now on a median price is forecast to be worth in 5 years. So pretty substantial wealth gain. Well, in Weber County, we have 270,000 people. 71,000 of those are renters, and 18,000 can afford to purchase a home. Well, that's important because as we start to look at those are numbers that people, when they can afford to, that creates additional demand on housing inventory. This number here, I think, is important, is household formation. So these are typically first-time home buyers in a market that, perhaps have graduated from college or have different life events that they're looking finally to purchase a home or need housing that doesn't currently exist. So these are people that don't currently have housing that are going to need housing. So it's projected in Weber County at 4,037 in the next 12 months. In Weber County, there is a 73% homeownership rate. So if we just apply that average homeownership rate to the amount of people coming into the market that need housing, that means we need about 2,967 new properties that people can purchase. The difference are going to be rentals that people are going to be moving into. In Weber County, we currently have 1,806 permits out and being built to meet that demand. And so we are short on the amount of homes that we need to meet the demand coming up based on that statistic. You'll notice these dark boxes down here. What that means, it's showing as needed. So those are our actuals that were in play. These are the needed amount, meaning since we're short, we actually have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 months. We are 17 months short in supply of homes still currently. Well, that creates demand and helps keep price stability in check. Another economic principle, we are currently at a 2.19% unemployment rate. The national average is at 3.6%. Well, this is one, as I look at job stability and wages, as you look at our wage of 76,561 versus the national average of 55,000, you put those together, we have a good job base. And when people have stable jobs, and that's better than a national average, that once again creates as more health or stability. A stronger wage will attract even more people here. Well, that becomes important as I look at the national average. These are household formations in our own market. Well, let's say, for example, in another state that inflation goes up to 10%, pushing that national average up, it's also our inflation rate will also go up, which is kind of one of the intended consequences of the Fed's actions of raising interest rates, is to push that up a little bit. We will still have more jobs and better wages than most people can see around the country. What does that create? Additional demand as people are considering Utah as a place to go where they can get, there's a better job market and better wages. So those are components that I look at just overall health of an economy. This one here is called the affordability index. So what this does is this takes into consideration a combination of a lot of things. As you look at our median income into our median home price, that creates an affordability factor looking at interest rates, home prices, cost of living, a lot of different variables go in that. 100 means that it is the national average. So that is the average for the nation. So in Davis County, we are actually right at the national average of affordability. Often when we're looking at it through a market lens, this is, I think, where a lot of the questions stem from. Is the market going to crash, or is it overinflated? Well, that's a great indicator that I look at, because we often are just looking at it through the lens of living here, saying it is more expensive on affordability than it has been in the past. And you can see that here. Just even last year, we were in Weber County, we're at 150% of national average, meaning that we were 50% more affordable than the rest of the country last year. And you kind of see that as it scrolls back over time. Well, the answer is, and what we felt is that housing has become less affordable here in Utah because of the heavy appreciation, the demand of people coming into our market, seeking the jobs, seeking the better wages, has created price moving up really, really fast the last 2 or 3 years. And that's what has affected that affordability. But important to note, we have what I would call a lot of runway still, or a lot of opportunity there, because these other things are important factors of our wages are strong, unemployment is low, that will continue to have wages improving that meets and pairs up to housing prices. So there's some factors that I look at when I'm trying to decide, and I get asked that question, how's the market? A better question would be to look at, are you looking in Weber County, or are you looking in Davis County? Because that is actually different. Are you looking in Logan, for example, or in Cache County? Use that just as one simple example. Let me jump to Logan and Cache County here. You'll see, once again, the median home price is actually a little bit higher than Weber County, and yet the wages are lower. So those two factors right there, it's important to note that we're at a 73% affordability index in Cache County. So it's a little bit more difficult to buy a home up in Cache County. It's 27% less affordable than the rest of the country up there. And that's just because of the combination of a little bit lower wage, a little bit higher price. And then as we look at it, the market's somewhat balanced there as we look at the need for additional housing. They're at a 63% home ownership rate, so not so quite as high up there. So the demand on new builds is not quite as high, and we've got a good healthy amount going in. So the market's kind of in equilibrium there. So you may look and say, well, is it a good place to buy? Well, yeah, look at once again our stability on unemployment. Looks really, really good, and you can forecast out, that we still have adequate balance in supply and demand of homes, and that those are the fundamentals of economics that make a stable economy. So I'm going to include in as attachments and down in the comments several different counties throughout Utah, this real estate report card. I hope just walking through how I kind of analyze it, you'll be able to dive in and perhaps look at a market that's important to you. If you have questions, happy to discuss those. If you're out of the Utah market and you want information on additional states, I can get it nationwide. Gladly post that in attachment down in the comments. But I hope you find this tool helpful. Really, the goal is that you are making decisions. We're simply making suggestions. And we want to empower you with the data to be able to look at and say, is this a good factor for me? Because once again, if you're looking as an investment property, timing on the market becomes a little bit more important than I need a home. And I need all the other factors that come with the privilege and blessing of owning a home, of being able to have more stability, being able to see that over time go up. Even when you got little peaks and valleys, you're really buying a home. The unintended consequences, you will create wealth. And that's a fantastic benefit. But let's focus on the home in the right market, and we realize that your budget matters incredibly. And so hopefully these tools will help you kind of sort through where can you get the most affordability for your dollar as you're looking and considering where to seek employment and where to purchase a home. And hopefully that helps you make better decisions. Feel free to reach out to myself or any member of our team anytime. 801-614-5125. Once again, 801-614-5125. It's Brett Mills with Academy Mortgage Corporation. I hope you find the video helpful.